Hey yo, what is up? 1.20 is here, and today I'm going to take you down and show you everything you need to know in the next 10 minutes about 1.20, including things that you might not even care about, starting with a new map that's dropping. This is called Oyster Bay. Somewhere in the Pacific there is an occupied island, and we're going to storm this island and attack it. Now, this map has been a long time coming. This map in development over a year. I remember testing this out on the test server over a year ago, and it takes such a long time for them to come up with new maps, considering how they can develop new tanks every 3-4 days. There's a new tank, but it takes over a year just to get tanks into development and into the live server. This is taking way too long. They need to spend more resources and energy and time into making new maps and getting them into the random battles ASAP. That is the new map coming up. Tournaments and challenges in your garage. This is a positive change because straight in your game there's a tournament tab. You can click straight into it, join tournaments, form up, without going into the portal and doing all that unnecessary stuff. Straight here you can do it, and then when you want to form up and join a team, that's when you will click to the go to the tournament and get into the portal. That is pretty good. That is tournaments and challenge. The next thing up is vehicle rebalancing. Now this is a little bit a controversial one because you see the incremental changes they made into the Centurion, the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, the T-57 Heavy, and the Rhinoceronte in tier 10s. Very incremental. Is it going to draw people into the game to play these tanks again? Now, in my opinion, these tanks are past their best before dates, and I think it's going to be difficult to get people to draw people back into playing the old tanks. Now, the Tiger P has got a huge buff in the frontal armor, 100 millimeters more armor, so maybe more people will play the Tiger P, but other than that, it's going to be difficult to get people back into these tanks. If it was up to me, I would literally over buff these tanks, make them extra powerful, get people excited and playing them again, and then if you need to tweak it and nerf it down a little bit, you can do that a little bit later down the line. But that would be how I would do it if I want people to play these tanks again. In my opinion, these tanks are history. It's not a lot of people are going to flock to them to play them. Some people will revisit them, but is it going to get a lot of people to play these tanks again? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Next up is map balance and improvements. Again, a long time coming. It's good that they're making changes to some old maps, but what we really need are new maps. I appreciate that they're making an effort making the old maps a little bit better, but it seems to me like they're spending a lot of time doing this, tweaking this, spending a lot of resources. I just don't, I'm not feeling it, man. Just give us new maps. I don't mind maps that aren't perfect. You don't have to keep going over these maps over and over again, changing them, making them better in your opinion. For some people it's better, for some people it's worse, so it depends on the perspective. So in my opinion, I don't need the map to be perfect. The map was not great in the past. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be a little bit better. You just need more maps, in my opinion. Spending so much time trying to improve polishing a turd, in my opinion, you don't need to do that. 1-2 line, you can see there the light tanks can sneak up a little bit better here because there's a little bit more safety with the new replaced rocks there, so maybe that's a little bit of an improvement. But like I said, new maps more important than trying to fix or trying to perfect old maps, spending a lot of time doing it. I think just put new maps, it's a lot better. This one is steps, and this is the railroad tracks where the sniper position, sniper nest up there. I don't know if it's still accessible in the new iteration. It looks like there's some rocks blocking your path to get up to the sniper's nest up there, but in the lower nest there's two sniper's nest on the lower ground. Here you can see there's roads leading up to it, but I don't think you can get to the top nest like you used to be able to. So we'll see what happens when the map is introduced. This is again where the railroad tracks is, the base at the railroad tracks. It looks like there is some safe position for you to get closer to the capture circle where you can hull down and use your hull down capabilities to fight tanks that are near the railroad tracks or across onto the other side. This one is in mines, and where the 1-2 line, is this the 1-2 line or the 9-0 line, where the water is anyway, there's going to be more protection for you to get across to the island, or on the far side, and you will get a little bit more protection when you are crossing, because there's going to be more terrain cover. So this could be a good thing. Again, I would prefer you make new maps instead of trying to perfect an old map. I think this map has been touched a couple of times already. I don't know if you can ever make the map perfect and please everyone. I think some people will like it. I think some people will not like it. I would just, move on, get on with your life, make new maps. This one is already, it wasn't terrible to begin with, I'd play it. I think it's okay from both sides. It is a north bias map. Yes, it's true. You're probably going to win if you are spawned in the north. I don't know what their point is in trying to polish a turd. Just leave it as it is and move on. Get more new maps. Again, I keep harping on this, but it's falling on deaf ears. Just get us new maps and get on with it. Here you can see they've made the changes here. It looks like you can't go down anymore with the addition of these rocks. They've added a new building here so that you can creep up to the base and have some protection, have some cover while you're doing that. Yes, some improvements there. And the last thing here is the new items for bonds. There are new bond tanks and new bond equipments, starting with the Beijing Opera for 15,000 bonds. Beijing Opera, of course, is the 113 with the makeup, and Lorraine, you know what a Lorraine is. And the third tank is a T23 E3, which is a Clan Wars, used to be a Clan Wars reward tank. This is the Beijing Opera. Of course, if you don't have a 113, maybe you can buy this with bonds. It used to be, not kidding, this used to be the #1 tank in Clan Wars a long time ago. It has fallen far from being the #1 tank. It is a forgotten tank. It's still not a bad tank, to be honest with you. It is a playable tank, very interesting to play in my opinion, but not the strongest tank at all in 2023. This is the T23 E3, used to be a Clan Wars very special collectible reward tank. Unfortunately, not a great tank because it only does 115 damage, even though it reloads in under 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds you do 115 damage. In tier 7, this tank is not a competitive tank, but if you want to collect it, if you want to keep it as a memento from your from your past Clan War days or whatever, sure, go ahead and get it, but not a competitive tank at all. The other things that you can buy for bonds are 3D styles for 3,000 bonds, which is the 60 TP 3D skin. I think this used to be a Battle Pass skin. This is of course the other skin, which is the STB one. Not too bad looking. And the last skin, I think this was a Christmas skin for the E100. Pretty cool looking skin as well. Not bad for 3,000 bonds. I think it's pretty good value for money. And the last thing, of course, is increased shell resistance. If you don't know what increased shell resistance is, it is the hardening, but purple hardening, which means you get 12.5% more HP on whatever tank you put it on. 12.5% HP more. That's pretty good. So anyway, that is the wrap up. That is all I have for you. That is all that is coming in 1.20 update. Hope you are prepared for it. I think you can pre-download it right now. If you turn on your your wargaming battle station thing, whatever, you can start downloading or pre-loading your 120 so you are ready to go on launch date. Hope you enjoyed this video and took some useful information. I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.